Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Kooplings, and welcome back to the Nintendo Shack. My name is Donnie Reese, and tonight me and my Shack crew are going to talk all about the PlayStation... Wrong show. Sorry, guys. I'm mixed up tonight. I'm hosting lots of different shows. Tonight we're going to talk about our love, hopeful love, of Clubhouse games. But before we do, let me say thanks, once I get the notes up, and have everybody's names here. To everybody that supports us over at patreon.com/PSVG. So thank you, Callow, Barry Cathcart, Josh, the Bonesaw, Borboni, Chris McElfresh, Devin Tyus, Kyle Heyman, Michael Masick, The Egg Shin, Zach Bradshaw, Nick Fallhaber, and Paul Calicote. Paul, I moved you back to the end because we used, I think for like 80 episodes, he was like the patron that we closed on. And I like it, Calicote. It's a nice, you guys, nothing? Just me?
Sure.
Okay, that's cool.
Go for it.
I like it.
Let's hop in like we do each and every week by talking about what we're into, what you playing, what you doing. How's life, Rebecca?
Life is good. I am playing a lot of Clubhouse games. I think a lot of us are. I'm curious which ones you guys have been spending the most time with. I haven't gotten like nearly to all of them yet. I feel like I keep coming back to a lot of the same ones over and over instead of trying the new ones like I said I would. But, you know, there's a lot of choices. I think I'll keep trying new ones. I've been playing, I was playing the Yacht Dice, which is like Yahtzee, with my mom a lot. I love in this game how there's so many different like ways that you can play it. Like you can use the touch screen, you can like do it with the Joy-Con. You can, for some of the games, turn it into like portrait mode, landscape mode. They really did, I think, put a lot of love into this game and giving so many different options on how to play, which I really appreciate because somebody like who, if I play with my mom who doesn't normally play games, it's so easy for her to just like kind of touch the screen and it's like a tablet to her. It's natural for her. I keep coming back to things like blackjack, bowling, darts, toy baseball, shooting gallery.
Toy baseball is really, really good.
This home run derby.
It's really, really good. Jack and I have been playing that a lot. I agree with you. I've been doing a lot of the familiar games that I already know. I have not yet learned how to play Mahjong. But I also haven't.
I keep coming back to that one too.
I haven't played a whole lot like the past week, just with a lot of things going on. So I think I attribute that more than anything else. I'm definitely going to play them when I can sit down and play. We've played a bit of Clubhouse though. We did pull out the other Switches. So I can talk about linking multiple of them together via that handy dandy guest pass that you can download from the store with the demo.
Yeah.
I did that too. They made it very easy to do. I don't know if that was also your experience, but
oh yeah, super easy.
Very
you just
simple,
play locally with friends. You click on their name, you create a room, and you're all in together, and you can play. And I was happy to see that with 2 players, the majority of the games are available. Because my first multiplayer experience was actually with Garrett and Sean and Jace the night it came out at like 2 a.m. And we were all very upset to find that you can only play like 7 games with 4 people.
It was just...
And golf is not one of them, which doesn't make any sense, really, because golf is played in foursomes.
Yeah, that's odd.
Like,
none of the action games were available.
Yeah.
It's just like card games. That Sorry game.
That
was bad.
That sucks. That's sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I haven't tried playing like online.
They call it Lumo or Ludo or something like that, but it's sorry. Like it's the game of sorry.
It's sorry without the cards, so it's just boring.
It is boring.
Yeah.
You just press A to roll the dice, and then you click your thing to go live. Some of the things that I did discover, and I feel like I haven't played it enough to really be 100% sure with what I'm saying. But one of the things I didn't like when we were playing dominoes, for example, is it pre-scripted all of my moves. So while it was cool that I could play a game that I've never played before, after I got, basically got the gist of the game, then I couldn't be as as creative as I wanted to be with the play, or it wasn't as fair, I guess might be the thing. Because if the computer's playing, then I'm just kind of pressing buttons, right? I'm just pressing.
What do you
A.
mean it's scripted? Pre-scripted?
So like I would have I have 5 or 10 dominoes or whatever in my hand, right? Mm-hmm. It would tell me which ones I could play and which ones I can't, versus me knowing. Right. I did notice, I haven't gone back to dominoes because that was the only time we played was when we played it. So I don't know I'm not sure if what I'm trying to say is I'm not sure if it's a per game issue, because I did notice with Jack, you can turn off the tips and things like that. So chess played that way. So Jack and I have been playing a lot of chess, and at the start, it basically like would prompt you what you could do. We turned that off. Kind of ruins chess at that point, right? It's just like, this is not any fun. So I'm hoping that they all do that. I would assume that they all, but I haven't played them all, so I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. I played some Clubhouse games too a little bit during the weekend. I played with my girlfriend. We did just the local on the big television. I've tried much different games. I tried the Gomoku, which is like you try to get 5 in a row or something like that with the black or white pieces. And then also the, I don't know if you heard of the game Othello, but it's like you have to circle, you have to like bound like a row or a circle. And then if you flip the coins that's like to your color or whatever, I don't know. It's something like that. I just forgot the name. She's really good at games. And I didn't realize that. And I was like, holy crap, she is like whooping my butt.
Nice.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to a game that I'm really good at. And she's like, I don't know how to play this. And that's chess. So we went over to chess. And yeah, that, as you said, that you can put in tips. We did like the middle one. There's like 2 types of modes for chess where it's like you can like highlight a pawn or a knight, and then it shows you where you can move. And it has white spaces where you're safe and red spaces where you're not. So it helps you out.
If you're learning how to play, for sure.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she eventually beat me in one game because I was just, I was just being silly a little bit. But
I like how if you're playing with multiple people, it keeps track of who's won each game. Did you notice that on the it like kind of tallies up? I think it's up to 10 or so.
Yeah,
of,
it'll keep going.
How many won? So you can kind of keep track. You can play like a full set of however many you want to play. When I was playing with Sam, I just want to say I beat him in 8 of the 10 games that we played.
Hey, that's what's up.
Who's the better gamer? No, but I think it's a lot of fun. I'm still looking forward to trying a lot of the different games. I think it's a really good deal for what it is.
I didn't care about the bowling, to be honest with you.
The bowling was so easy. Like I
Really?
feel like I was getting a strike every single time.
I've only played with motion controls.
Yeah, me too.
I did so maybe it was because I was doing the touch screen.
Yes.
That made it, and you could put it in portrait mode, or the one where it's up and down.
Yeah.
And just kind of.
Oh, you just
that probably is easy. Yeah.
It was so easy. So I haven't tried it with the motion controls yet. Maybe it's harder.
I wouldn't want to play a touchscreen.
It was
me
too. I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend it.
Playing it with the motion controls with the Joy-Con felt like playing Wii Sports. I mean,
it is. But the Joy-Cons, like, you have a left and a right, and that's the only one I have, and we're both right-handed when we throw a bowling ball.
Sure.
It just kind of sucks for both of us.
Can you not trade the Joy-Con and play with the one? You have to play with either or?
I think it's either or.
I'd be very interested if you left one docked and you just played with one, if you could just swap.
I don't know.
It probably doesn't register the first Joy-Con as the second player in that case then.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't be a 2-player then. It would just be one player.
Okay.
At that point,
I only played one player. We only played one player because I was checking it out while people were like making dinner and stuff. So we haven't played competitively. But when I played it, it felt like playing Wii Sports. I could put English on the ball and spin it and everything. Yep. It felt exactly like kind of what it was. I would say, it felt a little easy, but so did Wii Sports. Like once you kind of get it, you get it. So. Toy baseball is probably my favorite so far in terms of competitive with me and Jack.
Nice. That game, I that was one of the ones that I was playing with Sam, and I was able to do different kinds of pitches, but for some reason he wasn't able to, no matter what he pressed. I don't know if anyone else had that experience with the second player.
No, that's weird.
It was very weird. So
I wonder if it was mapped to like a specific Joy-Con.
I don't know. Well, he was playing on his Switch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you double switches. Yeah, Jack and I played the same way, and Jack could throw both ways.
He was like so frustrated with it and he was pressing all the same stuff that I was pressing, and it wasn't
registering.
No, he was just throwing regular fastballs.
I do love that Jack doesn't quite understand like the method of pitching. So Jack is constantly trying to spam the stick, so his pitcher's just like going like this the whole time.
Oh, you can fake people out.
Right,
it's funny.
that's all he's trying to do. Whereas I'm like fastball, and then I throw an incredibly slow changeup. So I have all these recorded videos of Jack just striking out like before the ball's like halfway there. I have this one where he swings. Man, the ball maybe have been a foot in front of the bat when he swings. And he was just so upset. He was just distraught. He was just like, I can't, because it was a slow pitch. So he waited on it and everything and still struck out, which I had a lot of fun with. It was very fun. The toy baseball game made me think of a few things. One, like the sound effects are really, really good. Like it definitely feels like you're playing like on a toy machine. I've never seen one of those games before, like in person.
Oh, I have. They're cool.
They look cool. I looked it up online. I'm not even joking. I was like, is this like a real thing? Like I went and looked it up, and they are. I was like, man, this would be really cool to have.
Yeah, they're very cool.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we got that. And then air hockey is really good and competitive, and we have a lot of fun playing air hockey. Yeah, let's see. God, we played golf. Of course, played a bunch of golf. I have gotten 13 under on golf. I did it 30 minutes after I got off the call with Jason, Sean, and them. So I was 3 sheets to the wind, playing the 9 holes over and over again, and 13 under is my best carded score. It pisses me off because I got to 14 under only to double bogey the last hole. So I was 14 under coming in.
Oh, man.
And I haven't come close since. It's like the more I play, the worse I get. It's like I feel like I'm not, like there's a drunken levelness of where my golf is good, and I need to drink more and play because I have attempted to beat my score of 13 probably 25 times, and I think the closest I'm getting is like 11 now.
Man.
But I was 7 under through 3, and I think that's the goal. Like you really got to load up early and then hang on late because I basically hole it in one all of the par 3s, get an eagle on a par 4, get a double eagle, get a on a par 5, and then save on 7 and 9 because 7 and 9 are the holes that'll get you. 7 and 9 are the holes that'll get you. And I do love the little game. It is a little too simple for my liking. But what it is, I mean, it's a toy game, and that's what you expect.
It's a mini game. Yeah.
I love the way it looks. I love the way it sounds, and it is a lot of fun to play. So obviously, I don't think this is a big surprise to anybody. I've played more golf than anything else, and that's probably has more to do with the fact that I haven't yet to learn Mahjong because I'm still golfing, trying to beat my
Mahjong's
score.
easy. It's good. You'll learn it very quickly.
If I never got to 14, I wouldn't be obsessed with it. But the fact that I got a better score than I currently have pisses me off. It's like I feel like the score that I have isn't valid. I'm like, Donnie, you're better than this.
That's funny.
Anything else?
Keep at it.
I mean, that's it for Clubhouse. Was there anything else you wanted to say about Clubhouse?
No, I mean, I'm really happy with the game that it is. I have zero regrets in having purchased this. It's hitting at a really good time. I do think, I'll get out of your guys' way because I don't have very much other to say, actually. I think this is the game that's going to put Xenoblade on the shelf for me because the moment I got it, I started playing it. I did play to Chapter 9 on Xenoblade, so I went up another 2 chapters, Garrett. I think where I was on 6, and I'm on 9 now. But once I got there, I just wanted to play more Clubhouse games, so I started doing that, and now I'm in that window where The Last of Us is happening soon. By the way, guys, you probably need to do the show next week or something. I don't know.
Is that what's going to happen?
I can probably do it next week, but the week after.
Right before, yeah.
The week after, you probably need to do the show.
I completely understand.
So, now I don't really... I'm not going to finish Xenoblade before it comes out, so I already know that I'm not going to get back to it for a couple weeks, if at all. So Clubhouse is like a perfect game. It's like, you know what, I'm just going to focus on this for a while, play around, have some fun with the kids and everything before my game comes and I sit down and start playing in earnest.
It's stereotypical to say, but it really is the perfect game to pick up and play a couple of the little mini games when you have like a couple minutes to kill.
Yeah, 100%. I've heard a lot of people say this, Kevin included, that it's a great game for on the go. It's a great game for portable, and it's a great game to showcase like the Switch with the Joy-Cons and everything. It would have been a huge hit. Not that it's not now, but it would have been a total huge hit if it had launched.
Yeah.
with
could
the
you
system.
imagine
Oh yeah, it would have been
that
huge.
instead of like 1-2 switch, like if that was the game?
Yep, 100%. It reminds me a lot of like Wii Party. So I was telling Kevin last night, and like I get the Wii Party vibes off of it. Kind of all those, like if you ever played a Wii Party, you had like a little baseball game, a little pinball games you could play across the gamepad and things like that. Like that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting off of it.
Definitely. I think especially because they make it so easy for people who don't know much about video games to play it, like using the touchscreen. It makes way better use of that than most games, I think.
We've got 3 Switches, and we played across all 3 of them. We had family blackjack. We did poker.
Nice.
Blackjack's good, yeah.
Yep, having a blast.
They have really good tutorials too. With,
Yeah, they're.
games.
I like that it's dialogue between 2 people. It's like kind of one's teaching the other how to do it.
kind of crafty.
But it's not drawn out. But it still, I think, covers how to play. Like it's
it covers the
experience has always been
concept
good.
at least.
Yeah, and then you can kind of go in a little bit more to the how to play if you want more in-depth explanation.
Yeah, I still need to play. I only played like, as you can say, like 25% of these games. And
Did you play Mancala?
which
I'm
one?
straight crushing my kids at Mancala.
The one with where you put them in the holes and you go around the board.
That game is so good.
Oh no!
What a simple game. That game is a great board game. I played Mancala a bunch, like in high school stuff. You're all right. Since I don't have a whole lot to say on the gaming side, I'll give everybody a story here. I'm going to show you guys a little bit about my geekiness. In high school, I started a board gaming club.
Oh,
Okay.
And it's not because I was super into board games. It's not like Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that. We used to play cards for money in high school. And it got a little
gambling.
out of hand.
So illegal.
So the school like disbanded all card
course.
games. They were like, you're just not allowed to do this anymore if you guys can't do this responsibly. So I started a club so we could do it. And we used chips and we kept score, but the chips were bought out. So we bought in and we played with the chips. And then at the end of the year, we cashed out for everybody. And we had a blackjack table and we had a poker like tournament that went going on. We had a roulette wheel that we played on. We did bets and we actually played board games. We had like a risk game going and things like that. But I started a club. We had a float and everything like in the parade. It's like this super weird little thing that I did. I was never in another club. I wasn't very like social activist or anything like that. I was just really into it. I had a lot of fun. And I remember I knew the principal at the time. So I was like, hey, so like,
You're gonna let it by.
yeah, kind of. I was like, look, I understand we can't do it, before school and on a cafeteria and stuff. All right, what if we have a teacher sign off to oversee it?
it's like legalizing it so they can regulate it.
Kind of.
Guy.
That's kind of what happened. I was like this little teamster. Like our Kim teacher sponsored it. She was in the whole thing. She knew everything we were doing.
Oh, that's good.
And it was all on the up and up. We had a treasurer who didn't play anything.
My goodness.
And I've always wanted to tell that story because of Board of Video Games. You know, one of the podcasts we have on the network. I've never told that story to them before. I've always been waiting for the moment to bring it up, and because I'm not really like into board games too much. Like I kind of dabble in it, but I'm not into them.
Right.
But yeah, there was the time in my life where I was all about it, man. And this game brings a lot of those memories back. Mancala was one of the games I used to play.
This is where your haggling's coming from, man. It's
I know. Who
persuasion,
knew?
silver tongue going on. It's like, yeah, I just created, an illegal gambling club, and the principal signed off on it. No big deal.
No big deal.
Oh my gosh. I've been trying to get, some
It all makes
form
sense
of fundraiser in my college. It was with like Super Smash Brothers tournaments or like, blackjack or something like that. But no, they're tight knit on that. It's like, nope, that's gambling. You can't do that. And then you see the fraternities across the street doing it. It's like,
I do remember.
And then they let you do that in high school.
I do remember you had to sign off on it by the principal, and I do remember like crafty wording the description of the club.
Yeah, lawyer stuff.
It teaches negotiation skills.
Oh, gosh.
That's it for me. So back to you, Rebecca. What else you been doing?
Yeah, I mean, I will make the rest short. It's pretty much all the same stuff. I'm still making progress in Golf Story. I feel like now that I actually know how to play, I am enjoying it a lot more. I'm up to the part where you team up with Coach against Lara and the other coach, and we win and have to buy them dinner.
Max Power.
Max Power.
And then the guy's name?
Maybe. I'm getting Mega Eagles now, which I didn't even know were
Nice.
things. So like I'm improving.
Isn't that the guy's
Mega
name?
Eagles.
Jason, are you in the chat? It's Max Power, right? He hits the ball like super hard. It's like whoosh.
No, I don't think I got to that part yet. It
Oh,
was
okay.
she teamed up with the coach who was in the training video.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that the name? I don't know.
I don't remember.
But now I finally like it. I feel like the second level or world or whatever finally teaches you all of those mechanics that you were trying to teach to me. So I got to like put it into practice a little bit more. I got really good at the disc golf, so I hope
Nice.
there's more disc golf parts.
Yep.
Other than that, more Animal Crossing.
I don't think there is
Yesterday.
actually. You can do like
There's
a little
not?
section and that's it. Yeah.
Oh, I finally mastered. I finally got good at that.
It'd be interesting to see with Sports Story if there's more of that in there.
There might be.
There might be. And with Sports Story, I'm also interested in like, I know you're probably going to have to do everything. I get that. But like, can you choose what you're doing? Is it more open or is it standard still your RPG? You got to complete one before you can do the next one. So like if you like golf or disc golf more than tennis, can you go that route first and then come do the thing you don't want to do later? Oh. Or is it going to force you to go in the direction that you need to go?
The story mode will probably force you, but
I expect the same.
maybe you can have like a casual mode where you can pick which one you want to play.
And if it has online multiplayer for some games.
Oh, that would be legit.
I didn't even think about that. To be honest with you, I didn't even think about that until now. I should have thought of this already.
Versus tennis. Like
sports are included in it.
I'm sure we do. I mean, in the trailer, there was a bunch. The only ones that pop off the head of me are golf and tennis, but there were others. I remember seeing
Was there
them.
baseball?
Maybe. I don't know.
I haven't seen the trailer since the direct. I'm so
just
sold on it. I'm like, there's no need to research it. It's like I'm buying it anyway.
That's true.
But I didn't think about online multiplayer coming in the sequel. That would be great. If there was a handful of courses and stuff that we could play online and do tennis and things, that'd be fantastic.
I could see that happening.
Ooh, that'd be awesome. I know netcode is hard, but man, come on, Sports Story folks. Give it to me.
Especially
with how a Golf Story did, I think they might go for something like that.
Yeah, just like take turns on golf. I mean, that doesn't take much, right?
You'd hope so, but
I hope so. All right. So yeah, I've been playing more Xenoblade. You're past me, Donnie. Congratulations. I'm on chapter 8.
Still, I thought the last time we talked, you were finishing. You said you're at the boss.
No. I was in the Machna Forest, and I beat the boss there.
Okay.
Which is the Telethia.
Yep.
And now I'm on Higher Intia.
Okay.
Okay, with the bird people.
Yep.
And I'm sure Rebecca's understanding everything that I'm talking about. But the story is still good so far.
Yeah.
I'm still into it. Like,
now it's like getting good though.
It's getting really good.
Yeah, it's getting good.
They're just slowly introducing more characters to the story, which I really enjoy. It's not like here's all your characters and then go with the story. It's more like here's one character here and there, and how they introduce them is pretty good.
I love how kind of zany or like otherworldly it slowly becomes.
Yeah.
To the point where you're like, you've got the auras in the sky and people flying around like lizard people and the like waterfalls, you're the bridge, and you're just like, yeah, I guess this is the game now. Like it started off, it was very grounded, running around fighting crabs, and now we're fighting, like flying lizard people and stuff like that. Like I get it.
Yeah, it was just humans originally called the Homs, and now we have these Intia people that are just like literally bird people. Like they're humans, but have like freaking wings on their heads. It's just an entirely different civilization living on this dead Bionis mega robot. It's very outlandish. I'm still surprised how huge this world is, and I think I got to the point when I got to Higher Intia, I was like, this is a little too big. This hub, this city, I want to go to catch all the side quests, but I literally have to walk. Maybe it takes a good 2-3 minutes to go from one side to the other to catch these.
I will admit
quests.
and concede. The reason why I passed you is because I've been basically mainlining it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm doing a side quest here and there. Like as they're nearby on my HUD, I'll pop over and do it. But I'm not going out of my way to do any of them.
Gotcha. I did get the gem crafting like in my menu. So I did the side quest line where I don't have to go back to the original village or whatever. I can just pop in the menu, which is very convenient. I wish they would have just done that in the beginning, but it's whatever. But yeah, no, I'm still enjoying it. I think it really gripes me. This one bug, and I think I don't see this in a lot of JRPGs, but like this, it screams out the MMO part in this JRPG, this Xenoblade. It's the quests are repeatable. There are quests that like you do them. It's Monster Quest Part 1, and then you finish it, and then like maybe after, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours or some level of quest, I don't know the threshold, but it pops up again.
It'll be available again.
Yeah. I want to do every single side quest. And that's what I do with like a lot of my RPG work, is making sure I'm doing everything together. Like same thing with Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft games. I want to check everything off the list. So it's kind of discouraging. It's like, because I was going back to the first village or whatever, and it's like, why do I have more quests here? And I was like, it's just Monster Quest Part 1. And I'm like, okay. So I just can't do every single side quest. That's fine. So I'll try to ease off on the side quests a little bit more and just try to mainline it. So I got to the part, I don't want to spoil too much, but basically, the princess is doing the trials. She is she is trying to go through the trials to become the emperor or the queen of the civilization, and you, as your group of Homs, are trying to help her out in a sneaky way. And that's where I'm at right now. But other than that, I haven't played much of Switch, to be honest with you. I've been, I just want to brag a little bit, but this controller,
nice.
I really enjoy it. Yeah, so I've been playing a little bit of, on PC, I've been playing a little bit of Fallout 76 with this guy. I didn't even know, you don't have to put batteries in here to connect, USB powered controller.
Yeah,
I didn't. Oh, okay. That's very nice. It's much better with the weight. But yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, cool. Well, let's get into This Week in Nintendo, and let's talk right off the top about a huge summer sale that's going on the eShop right now. Basically, everything's on sale, most everything. Capcom, Ubisoft, Devolver, WB all have promotional sales right now across their entire library of games. A lot of indie things are on sale. Even Nintendo has huge sale going on right now. If you consider $42 to be a huge sale on Mario Party or Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Hey, that's a good game. Okay.
It is a good game. It's also like 6 years old or something at this point. I think Captain Toad is like $27, which, I mean, put Captain Toad on people's Switches for $10 or something. Like, come on, Nintendo. Yeah. Come on, lower it a little, like have a little fun.
Should not be $42.
I would love for Nintendo to have like a very small window that they annually do where they actually sell games on a sale. Like one day a year, they're like a Mario Day. March 10th, all of our games are cut. Not all of them, but a select of games are cut 75% or something.
They could even make it like a Switch Online perk. Like you get this special discount if you're a Switch Online subscriber.
Extra percentage off.
That would be fantastic. Yeah. That would be great. So I'm not exactly happy because most of their games are $42. Donkey Kong and Mario and things like that. But there are a lot of other games that are on sale. So Steven wants to know, what are the must-buy summer sale games? Any hidden gems you recommend? So let me tell you about the games that I've already purchased, as well as the games that I wrote down that I would wholly recommend at their current price. I have just bought Super Bit Blaster XL, and I bought it because it was like 9 cents or something like that. It was insane. It was like a nickel. It's an arcadey, like kind of twin stick shooter, but it's not twin stick. It's one stick and it like kind of auto shoots. To be honest with you, I played it for about 30 minutes. Wasn't didn't have the feel that I'm looking for in like kind of an arcade game, but it's only 30 minutes, right? So I'm not sure. I wasn't sold on it firsthand. I also bought the Castlevania collection, which I was reading to Garrett before we started. It's half off. I believe I paid $9.99 for it. And if I could go back to it real quick, I'll read off the games that are available on it. So I'm really, really enjoying that one. And then I also bought Mark of the Ninja Remastered, which is a game that when it came out, I was talking to Jason. I wanted to get it. I think it was $20, $19.99. And just wasn't sold on it to get it at that price. It's on sale right now for $4.99. $5. So you're looking at a total here. I've spent like $15, and I've got 3 games I'm looking forward to. So as Castlevania loads up, the Castlevania Anniversary Collection, here we go. I have Castlevania from NES, Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest from the NES, Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse from the NES, Super Castlevania 4 from the Super Nintendo, Castlevania The Adventure from Game Boy, Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge from Game Boy, Castlevania Bloodlines from Genesis, Kid Dracula, first time ever released in English. It was only released in Japan. And then there's also a bonus Castlevania collection book that you can read on here. So I got that for $10.
That's a lot of Castlevania.
It's a lot of Castlevania. Yeah. So I enjoyed that one. And, Castlevania is a game that I typically play around Halloween. I'll boot one up. Cool. Last year I played the 360 one, whatever one of the 3D ones are. So, and typically I think now that's kind of where I go to when I want to play Castlevania. But every now and again I'll boot up Super Castlevania 4, which was my favorite. I remember I played it all the way through when the Super Nintendo Classic came out. So I've got it there too, and probably have it on 3DS or somewhere else. That one's a favorite of mine. That when I think Castlevania, that's where I go to. It's probably my first one that I ever played. So I like that one quite a bit. Now I wrote down some games that I will wholly recommend. Now a lot of these games I already own, and that's why I recommend them. Okay, Travis Strikes Again and Ori are both I think $15, or less than $15, like $14.99. Travis Strikes Again has been cheaper. I've seen Castlevania. I've seen Travis Strikes Again around I think $11, but I mean it's pretty good. Overwatch is $20, and wow. Overwatch is one of the better ports that I've seen come across on the Switch. I really enjoyed it. I have it. I bought it day one, the day it released. I played it quite a bit. I think I put 10 or 15 hours in Overwatch. Multiplayer online shooter is not really my thing, right? Mm-hmm. But still, I thought the port was really, really good, and I think it's a really fun game to play, especially for a shooter. Golf Story is available for $7.50. Child of Light you can pick up for $5.
Get that game.
Yeah, that was on my list too.
Call of Juarez you can pick up for $14. This is a really, really good port from 360 era. Nice. The Hotline Miami collection is $9.
That's good.
Katana Zero is $10. Pedro is $12. And I put this one on here, and I know this is probably not like a super great deal. Probably people look at this and they roll their eyes. Skyrim is available for $30. It's $29.99. Skyrim on Switch, the physical cart, holds value fairly well. I think GameStop still sells the physical cart for $54 used.
That's really good.
So if you haven't got it yet, I believe in the port. I think Skyrim on Switch is real good, both in portable and docked. And it's a perfect way to play the game. So if you're looking for something a little more pricey, a little bigger, big open world adventure, I would recommend Skyrim for $30.
Nice.
What about you guys?
I have a list as well. Some that I'm tempted with, and some that go ahead and buy it. Diablo 3 for $20. I've been eyeing on that for a while now. I might get it. We'll see. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch remastered, $20. It is a fantastic port. I wholly recommend it. I haven't finished the game yet. I'm about maybe 25-ish hours into that one. But it's such a fantastic game. So I recommend that. Slay the Spire, still a little bit more expensive to my taste. It's $17. I've seen it cheaper on Steam or PC. So if you or maybe just wait a little bit on Switch.
That one keeps getting recommended to me, but I've never played it.
Oh, it's so good. It's a roguelike deck building game.
Which is why I haven't played it.
Yeah, it's an easy pickup, I think, too. I know.
Once you say rogue, I'm like, I'm out.
Hey, I don't like roguelike games either. At all. Like Dead Cells, I'm okay with because it's a good gameplay. This one, I don't whenever I lose, it's great. I had a great run. It was maybe at least 30 to 45 minutes.
I bought and returned Dead Cells in 2 days.
Okay, so you may not like this then. Okay.
For people who do.
I got it. Everybody was like, it's 9 out of 10. It's so good. Philip Mewson. I was like, all right, I'm going to go check this out. And I got it and I played it for about 3 hours. I was like, that's enough.
That's enough. I'm good now. Telltale's The Walking Dead, the first 3 seasons are $4 each.
Oh, definitely play those games if you haven't. Have you, Rebecca? I tried forever to get Caroline to play. Buy the first one. Just buy the first one. Yes. It's been $4. I think a lot of
it is spoiled for me, but I still want to play it.
The first one is so good.
I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it on Switch. I already have it, and I've got the whole collection, everything. I'm going to buy it on Switch, too.
Yeah, I got the complete collection.
I think I might as well if it's on sale, right?
Oh,
yeah.
So good. One of my favorite games ever.
Yeah, the first 3 seasons, $4. Last season is $10 if you want to get it all together. Dragon's Dogma, it is a good port, and it's a really good, I've heard it's a really good RPG, so I want to shout that out. It's $15. I've been tempted with this game, Digimon Cyber Sleuth. It's still a little too rich for my taste. It's $30. I'm not a huge Digimon fan, but it does bring in some Pokemon mechanics, but it's a lot different as well. So I'm still looking at it, maybe a little bit cheaper though. Banner Saga 1, $5. And then get the trilogy together, that's $25. So that's pretty good. Pillars of Eternity, as you can tell, it's a lot of RPGs. Pillars of Eternity is $30. That's a little too rich, but I'm paying attention to that. SteamWorld Quest is $12.50. The SteamWorld games are all on sale. I think the SteamWorld Dig 1 is like $3 or $4 or something.
Oh, I mean, they're like Transistor and Bastion. These games are always on sale, I feel like. And they're great games. If you don't own any of these by now,
get them.
Yeah, SteamWorld, Shovel Knight, Hollow Knight, all of those games. Bastion, Transistor, they're all great. Everybody should have them.
Yeah, I think SteamWorld Quest, that's the lowest price I've seen, $12.50. So that's pretty good. Disgaea 5, I played only a few hours of it, but I really like it. And there's like over 200 hours of gameplay. It's a good tactics game. It's $20. And then a shout out to 3DS, Shin Megami Tensei. A lot of the games are on sale, but 4 Apocalypse is like their latest one, and it's really good. It's not as hard as the regular 4, so that's for $15.
That's not bad.
And that's my list so far.
You guys actually came up with different ones than I did besides the one. I only came up with 5 that I want to suggest. Child of Light was the one that Donnie said. Really, really interesting storytelling and beautiful art. Rayman Legends, if you have never played Rayman Legends, it's such a good platformer. It's only $10. Gree is on sale for $8. That one was cheap to begin with, but if just beautiful game if you haven't played it. Yoku's Island Express is $6. It's a really interesting take on it's technically I think a Metroidvania, but it has like pinball mechanics in the most interesting way ever. That one's really cute. Okay, I lied, 6. Jackbox Party Pack games are 50% off. Really good for non-gamers. You play with your phone as a controller. Perfect party game. And then To the Moon also is usually cheap, but it's on sale for $8 if you want to cry like a baby. It's the best game ever.
Nice.
That's what I would recommend.
You had me checking out all of the Telltale games are on sale. So that includes Batman as well. And those games are great as well. I might double tip on those too.
Nice.
Very cool. Also this week, Crosscode finally got a release date on Switch and consoles. It's releasing July 9th. So you don't have to wait that long. I was following this one quite a bit. It was in my little indie things to look for, and then before the Nintendo Direct was finally announced. I've been knowing that this was coming for a while. And the reason being is listen to the Kotaku podcast, and all the folks over there really love this game when it released on PC almost, I think, 2 years ago now at this point. It has really, really great reviews. RPG big time thing for a lot of folks. So I'm not necessarily sure if it's a game for me, but it's really, really, super highly recommended, and that alone will make me buy it and check it out. So Crosscode is on the way. It's described as a retro-inspired 2D action RPG. With 16-bit and SNES style. So it's Zelda-esque, if you guys have seen it, like Zelda, Chrono Trigger, things like that. Like all that's kind of in there. So a lot of people keep an eye out on that one. The Coma 2, Vicious Sisters, is out on Switch June 19th. It's a terrible day for me. That's the day that The Last of Us comes out. But for a long time, Shack listeners, you know that I really, really enjoyed The Coma, the first one, when it released on Switch, and I streamed it. I did reach out to Diffspresso Games and asked them if I could get a review copy just so I could play it before The Last of Us comes out. I think I even told them in the email, I'll buy a copy and give it to somebody else. I just need it now instead of next week so I can play it faster. I've been following this game quite a bit on Steam, but of course I wanted to play it on Switch. I'd prefer to play it on Switch, so I've been waiting. I'm not sure how many folks are into the spooky games here on my panel, but The Coma...
I've never heard of this game.
The Coma is... mechanically, it's quite a bit like Clock Tower, which, if you've heard me on we have an annual horror show around Halloween that we do and talk about spooky games and movies. Clock Tower is such an important game for me. I found so much love in scary spooky games when I played Clock Tower back in the 90s, and it's a franchise that I've always wanted to return in earnest. I would love to buy the rights to it, or somebody to buy the rights to it and make a new one. And this game is very, mechanically, it's very similar. You are you're combing through, it's an adventure game. You're combing through, or at least the first one, you comb through a school, you're a student, right? You wake up and like the teacher has transformed into like this mutant murderous teacher. It's very funny. It has like, or I think it's funny. I have a sick sense of humor, but like it's cartoony, like it's an anime cartoony kind of style. It's very over the top. Teachers like big teeth, big claws, it's not like realistic. And I really, really enjoyed it. And you go around, you find the wrench to unlock the pipe, to unlock the door, to get to the thing. And the whole time you're doing it, you're kind of being, haunted by this teacher. And so you've got to hide and things. So, they can't, cause you can't fight it. You'll die. So it's just kind of like that. And, you make your way around, and I'm looking forward to this one. It has really good reviews on Steam. So if you're out there, if you like spooky games, you got another one coming out next week. Ruiner comes out on Switch June 18th. Ruiner is a lot like Travis Strikes Again. And I really should say that the other way around, because Ruiner came out before Travis Strikes Again. But I played Travis Strikes Again first, and then Ruiner came to Game Pass. I played Ruiner on Xbox, and I thought to myself, man, did Suda51 kind of rip this game off. They're very similar. And I mean, I say that with all respect. I'm not like accusing them of doing it. I don't know if he's ever played it. They're very similar, actually. And like the whole aspect, the angle, the combat, very similar. Ruiner is probably a better game. Has more to do, more combat, more enemies. Whereas Travis Strikes Again is just Travis Touchdown and the No More Heroes universe. So, I really liked Ruiner a lot on Game Pass. And I remember telling other folks in our Xbox show and telling other folks in our Discord, like, hey, don't sleep on this game. Go give it a try. And I think a few people told me they really enjoyed it too, and they liked it. So if you guys have never heard about it, definitely Google Ruiner and check out a trailer.
I checked out the trailer. It looks so good, and it's like the cyberpunk setting, which I enjoy, and the music got me going. I'm like, okay, that's hack and slash. And it reminds me of Fury. I don't know if you heard of.
Yeah, I know that one.
I think of that with guns, because it's a lot of shooting as well. So I would be down to play it. I would be down to try it out.
I think Switch players that have never heard of this game, especially if you're like your Switch only player, you don't have access to this on the console, give this one a look, because it's probably, it's a quality game. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a quality game. Yeah. It's worth your time. Because if you've never heard about it, you may not realize just how good it is. It's pretty good.
Has a lot of great reviews too.
It includes all the DLC, by the way, which is also, you get a little added benefit. And then the last thing that I had on the news front was Ubisoft's old shooter 13, which was announced. Like we got that announcement last year, right? That was being remastered and brought to consoles and Switch. Finally got a date. It's dated November 10th, so we got to wait a while. I really like 13. I don't have like the most incredible memories with it, but I do remember playing it. It has that cel-shaded look. For those of you who've never played it, look it up. It's X111, Roman numeral 13. Look it up. It definitely has that style that should translate to Switch well. So it's like kind of like a Borderlands-ish styled shooter that I would imagine makes its way to Switch well. And if it does, I'm planning on buying it on the Switch, because Switch needs more shooters, and this is this should be, I'm hoping, you can hear it in my voice, I'm hoping it's good. I can't imagine that it's not, but who knows? I don't know. I'm not a game developer, but I'm hoping it's 720p 60 or something like that. I'm hoping that it's, it's a really decent quality port, because it's an older game, but it's pretty fun. If you liked, I don't know, like some of those early last gen, GameCube, PS2, PS3 type shooters, like if you remember those types of things, like the early Resistance and things like that, you know what you're in for. It's going to be like that. It's not a groundbreaking shooter. It's not like modern Call of Duty or anything like that, but it's fun romp, and I'm expected. There was a game. Oh, what was that game? I'd have to dive through. There was a game that came out that reminded me a lot of 13 that's on the Switch, that I played on Switch, and it's like it's a loop game where you're constantly going around. I don't remember the name of it anymore. And I have to dive through my library to go find it. Maybe Jason can let me know in the chat, but very similar style and all that. And it was pretty fun too. So another one out there to put on your calendars and pay attention to. And
the past, the 4 games that you just mentioned, I only heard of Crosscode, and only because Crosscode is on Games Pass for PC. So
gotcha.
Yeah, I'll be interested to look at a Crosscode and Ruiner for sure.
Cool. That's all I had for this week in Nintendo. So if you don't have anything else for us, Rebecca, would you hit me with some questions?
Sure. Brendan wants to know, year 3 of the Switch, what are your favorite accessories?
The
That's a good
Pokeball.
question.
Does that count?
Really?
Yeah, that counts.
I used the mess out of that Pokeball. That Pokeball gave me a second life on Pokemon Go that lasted for 3 months or so. And I played Pokemon Let's Go with it.
That's fair.
And I think it looks cool.
It does look cool.
So, I mean, it was a joke on Shaq for a while. I was carrying it at work. Like, had it in my pocket at business meetings and stuff. I clicked the little thing. You know, I drove with it. Like, I had one hand on the wheel and when it would vibrate, I'd click the little button.
More of a
That's
Pokemon
funny.
fan than me right now.
Wow.
Oh my
And,
goodness.
And I mean, I stopped playing Pokemon Go. I always have. I've never been that person. But, you know, for a while, it got the Pokemon Go. So, all right, there's a better way of thinking. Like, immediately I was going to say, like, collector's edition docks or controllers and things like that. But are those accessories? Like, do you count those?
Docks, I'm not sure because it is part of the console
It's the
once
system.
you purchase.
I mean,
So are controllers.
I would count it. My answer was going to be my Pro Controller because I don't really have any other accessories that I really
That is
use.
technically an accessory. It's an extra item you buy.
It's something that's
for-
not needed that you can use.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really have an answer to that.
Joy-Cons? Like, I have a lot of Joy-Cons,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
But it comes with your Switch.
which is why I went to the Pokeball.
Yeah, you went to the Pokeball. Okay. Here's mine. It's the Satisfy Grip. That thing is so good on handheld.
That's a very good one.
If you guys have not checked it out, please check out the Satisfy. What Donnie is holding up right now on video. That's the Switch Lite one. It's so good. I know everyone in that's some good showcasing.
That does look nice.
Other than that, not much. Actually, Bobby, the Nintendo guru, when I met up with him, he gave me a lot of extra items. I just think he wanted to just like throw away. He gave me this extra dock that's like it's not an actual dock, but you put your dock on it. It's like a stand, and it has like
with the light up shield. I've got those.
Yeah, it's a light up Pikachu one.
Yep.
So I think it was pretty cool.
I didn't like how many
like-
wires and everything it had to do. It just kind of looks
Yeah.
ugly on the back end. So
It's kind of a pain.
I mean, there are cool accessories. Like you've got the Bluetooth accessory that you can, like the Genki thing
Yes.
you can plug in. I don't have one, but that's a really good one. The little travel dock that they came out with, those are cool.
Yes, I heard that's pretty good.
I would want one of those maybe on the cheap, but I still haven't got one. I don't plug my dock in anything but at home anyway, so I don't know.
Initially, when I had my regular Switch on trips, I had my Satisfy Grip and then the case too. And that case is a mammoth, but it works because I put a battery in there, and I could just play handheld. Basically, like
You know what I should say? My illegal
What?
amiibo.
Yeah,
Those are accessories, and I've paid a
Your
lot of
what
money for
amiibo?
them. My illegal amiibo.
Define illegal.
I have
Illegal?
illegal
Yeah, what?
amiibo.
What do you mean illegal amiibo?
Have we never talked
They
about my
take the chip-
amiibo?
don't
Did they
think
take the
so.
chips off or something?
Oh my!
Or did they make
All right,
the chips?
you guys carry the show. I'll be back.
Oh goodness,
Oh no, that sounds like okay.
he's gonna grab his illegal. What is Donnie like?
I
What
think
is his
maybe
life?
he's talking about the ones that
No,
you buy like the cards.
Yeah, I think it's little chips that you could just put on the Switch or a Switch dock, and they recognize it as a random amiibo. I think it's
Here
like
it
60 of. Yep. Oh goodness. He's
Because I
cold.
know they sell like the knockoff Animal Crossing amiibo cards.
Mhm.
I don't know.
And
if
do
that-
they work though?
They work.
Yeah, okay, good for them.
What was that?
We're trying to figure out what you're talking about.
Okay, so PSVG's highest rated YouTube content was a video that I shot a few years ago when people started counterfeiting amiibo. And I bought some, and I did a video review on them, and I liked them so much that I doubled down and reinvested in them. The ones that are on that video were like this paper stuff. They weren't even that great. So I have two sets that I'll show you real quick, and I won't spend too much time on it. But for those that are listening to the podcast version, you may want to click over to YouTube or Twitch to see this because I'm going to pull them up to the camera. So these are my amiibo. They are PVC credit cards,
Oh my gosh.
and I have this many of them.
So are they similar to the Animal Crossing ones that people make? They're kind of like the knockoff, but they work.
Oh yeah, they all work.
Okay, yeah,
They're just like credit cards. They have matching backs.
They look like children's cards.
Like if you want to look in, like they are very plastic. You know, they're not
Very
paper.
thick, yeah.
And then this is the part you're going to go, oh my god. These are my other amiibo. I bought amiibo coins.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're poker chips. And I fell in love with. I got one of these from Etsy. I found a person. I bought one just because I saw them. Caroline and I are actually looking at them, and I saw one of these, and I was like, you know what? That's great because with my cards don't quite fit on the Pro controller. You got to like slide it sideways across the sticks and everything. And I was like, it'd be great if it was smaller. And then somebody tipped me off to these, and I have amiibo, and it's like there's Cloud.
They're cute. They actually look nice though too. Like it's not just.
Oh, exactly. No, this is professionally done.
Wow.
So I have, and the reason I'm really excited about them is I have a full set of amiibo. The deal that I struck with the guy is every time they release new ones, he cuts me a couple more. I paid extra for that.
Wow.
And because that was the whole point. I wanted one matching set of amiibo. I didn't want weird odds and ends. That's what happened with the cards is I got a set here, a set there, and then I started looking. I didn't like that they were all together. So yeah, I just got these little amiibos, and then these are what me and my kids use when we're playing, Breath of the Wild or card or something, and we need to unlock our amiibo stuff. I'm a little upset that amiibos basically like died because I always thought it was a really good program, and it's not to say that I don't collect amiibo anymore. If you guys look behind me, on my desk and stuff, I definitely have amiibo. I just only get the statues of the amiibo that I actually want to put on display. These are more functional in use. So the cards are basically for the kids. The kids can come take these cards whenever they want. They can throw them in their backpack, take it forever. And then the coins are more like when I'm using them or something, they stay at home and they're not on travel. But these are a lot easier to throw, in a Pokemon deck box and take with you on the go than actually trying to carry your amiibo and put them in a bag or something.
Yeah, definitely.
It is actually pretty useful.
Yeah, so
you convinced me.
Those are my accessories. I mean, I was going to say before I thought of amiibo, I was going to say the Astro headsets with the Zelda headsets. I bought 2 of them because I got one for like almost free on a price error. So I have 2 of them, and I let my kids use them. I don't even use them anymore because I got the other ones that Dev got me to buy. But that's the prettiest set of headphones I've ever seen. They are absolutely gorgeous, those Zelda headphones. And they're a must-have for any like Zelda fanatic, and they do sound great. And I still use them from time to time, usually if I'm plugging into like a portable device or something like that.
So I have one of those too. It's really good.
Yeah, when it comes to accessories, that's what I got.
Excellent.
What's our next question?
BMux wants to know if you are stuck at a deserted island, you can take one game from each of the systems. What will you bring?
Okay, this is an interesting question.
I thought about this one.
I wrote the systems down.
Dang it.
I wrote a couple games, 3, but I'm not even sure on my 3. So let's do this together. NES.
Well, I challenged myself to not pick any Zelda games because otherwise it would just be a full Zelda list. So mine includes no Zelda just to make it more fun.
Okay. NES.
Tecmo Bowl.
Ooh, good one.
I'm being honest with you. NES games are not my forte, so I'm gonna have to pass on that.
Tecmo Bowl is the only NES game I like.
I went with Mario 3.
Mario 3. I'll choose one of the Mario games.
Still my favorite.
Be good.
I mean, I think it's the best Mario game.
Okay, I'll go with Mario 3 then.
Mario 3. Super Nintendo.
This was the only one where I was stuck between 2.
I'm stuck between 2, but one of them's a Zelda game.
My 2 are Yoshi's Island and Chrono Trigger.
Yoshi's Island's good too. Anything about that one? Mm-hmm. I haven't given this as much thought as I wished I could have. I put Super Mario World and Link to the Past.
It has to be Link to the Past for me.
That would be my answer if I didn't do Zelda.
Okay, so I'll go Super Mario World. N64.
Pokemon Snap.
Ooh, good one.
I'm gonna have to go Pokemon Puzzle League.
Ooh, that's good too.
I'm going to go with WCW NWO Revenge. GameCube.
I would pick Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life.
Wow. Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Good one. Very good one. I'm gonna go with Rogue. Star Wars. Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadron. Nice.
Wii.
Okay, don't laugh. I would pick WarioWare Smooth Moves.
That's a great one.
Ironically,
I love
that game.
That one's great. I'm not gonna laugh at you at all. That one's fantastic.
Okay, good.
You guys are gonna laugh at my pick.
I'm gonna have to choose Mario Kart Wii.
Okay.
That was almost my pick for that one.
I was gonna take Galaxy, but I'm gonna go Wii Sports.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
The reason
Yeah.
that I'm gonna go Wii Sports is if you guys have ever saw me on Twitter over the years, I still play Wii Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Still, I've played Wii Sports for a decade. I've played Galaxy twice, so I'm gonna go with Wii Sports. Wii U.
I was almost between two for this one, but I picked Mario Kart 8.
It's a very good one.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm surprised you didn't go Splatoon.
That was what I almost picked.
I wasn't big on Wii U. I'll have to go with Super Smash Brothers for Wii U, though.
I held off on picking more Zelda titles so I could pick Wind Waker HD, and then I'll go ahead and hop over to Switch and go Breath of the Wild.
I picked Animal Crossing New Horizons.
I'm gonna. This is a deserted island, so I could just play forever and ever. I'm gonna have to say Slay the Spire because I think I could play that forever.
Wow.
Maybe
I
I
wanted
wouldn't
to.
want to play New Horizons, a game about being on a deserted island. If I was on a deserted island, so maybe I'll change my answer to Splatoon 2.
Nice.
There you go.
I want to throw in 3DS.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, hold on. What do I have? Pokemon X.
There we go. I'm gonna have to go with. Well, I might finish it, but I'll go for it. Picross 3D.
I wrote down Awakening, and then as we were talking, I jotted down a game I didn't think about, Mario Golf. And I absolutely love Mario Golf on 3DS, so I'm going to go Mario Golf World Tour, and then I'm going to throw in just one more Game Boy, but it could be anything. GBA, DS, Lite, whatever you want to call it. Just another... I wanted to give Portable some love. I know I'm console-centric, so I want to put some Portable love in here. So I'll just Pokemon Red, or Yellow, or just Gold, one of them.
I'll use my one Zelda title to say Minish Cap.
Nice.
I played this for a while on my DS. I don't think much people have, but it's Age of Empires for the
Oh.
DS.
Oh, I didn't know that was on DS.
Yeah, it was very similar to Advance Wars, but much more Age of Empires. It's like Civ a little bit.
Nice.
So I would go with that.
Okay. Next question.
Oh, gosh. Soundscape wants to know, heard this on NBC, but wanted to know Shaq's take. Is Nintendo in their prime right now when it comes to game development? Good question.
That is a really good question. Here's the thing. It's hard to say... It's hard to say that they're not. But it's really because their prime... Like so many games that they've made right now are the best in franchise, either critically or sales wise. Like they're doing amazing. But it's a tale of like 2 generations because we're really piggybacking off the Wii U still, right? Kart, Smash, but then Breath of the Wild, and then you could say Odyssey. I mean, Odyssey has really kind of reinvigorated a lot of Mario fans, and then Animal Crossing. You know, it's been, I mean, like this kind of last 5-8 year period has been really, really good. I think a lot of older folks, or a lot of folks that are fans of the older stuff, I mean, I think there's a lot to be said that, you know, some of those earlier experiences on Super Nintendo are like the seminal tentpole standouts for those games. Super
I was
Metroid,
going to say it's almost like
Mario,
they have
Zelda.
2 primes. Back
Kinda.
then in the 90s, and then it's almost like now
They have like a 2D prime and like a 3D prime, or like an like an HD prime and an SD prime. Like,
I would say that's accurate, to be honest.
yeah, it's and again because it depends if you are segregating like based on console, then it becomes a little harder to make a case. But if you just pick a period of years, any period of years, in the last let's say 5 to 7 years, Nintendo hard to beat. Especially if you include some Wii U stuff, some 3DS stuff, and some Switch stuff. That's a tough one to beat. I think.
For sure.
But that's a really good question. And it's weird because like right now, like we've had this entire year and we haven't had a whole lot of first party stuff. So right now, I kind of when he first asked the question, I almost got the sense I was wondering if he's maybe like projecting like where's all the first party stuff, right? Because I see that a lot. even Kevin today with PlayStation 5, Kevin's like, where's Nintendo? Like there's people out there and it's like Animal Crossing. That's where they are. They're
And you
doing Animal
can't,
Crossing.
this whole cycle with the Switch, you can't ignore what's come out on the Switch already, which has been amazing stuff.
Yeah. Best Mario Kart, best Smash, best Zelda. Definitely one of the best Zeldas, best 3D Zelda.
One of the best Marios, in my opinion.
Not mine, but sure. I think Super Mario Odyssey is very good. Don't get me wrong. It's a great game. Nothing wrong with it. Best Mario game? That's where my issue with it always lied. Is like, best Mario game? There have been a lot of really great Mario games.
Zelda and Mario share something kind of unique that I think a bad game in their series is still a really great game.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Games. And
it's like
those
Kool-Aid.
are, I feel like, two of the really only game series that you can really say that for. There's not too many series that you can really say that for.
Yep. Yeah, my issue with Odyssey when everybody was giving 10 out of 10s was my issue. It was like, okay, so is it the best Mario game of all time? A lot of people may say it is, and that's fine. But when you say that, when you give it such high praise and such high scores, that's immediately where I go. I was like, okay, well, is it better than the other ones? And then I had a lot of people who are like, well, it's not Mario World, it's not 64. And it's like, well, then what is it? Like it's the greatest Mario game of all time, but they're all amazing. Every Mario game, they're all perfect. Again, I don't want to come off. I came off as a hater of Odyssey when it came out, and I don't want to be that. I very much like Mario Odyssey. If I had to pick other Mario games to play, I would. I'd pick 3D World to play over Odyssey, personally.
And I think of you got an announcement over there.
My Google Wi-Fi just started going off for no reason.
Gotcha. I think for other than the tentpole, Nintendo franchises, I think of Mario Party. I think of Super Smash Brothers. I think Super Smash Brothers on that end, it's been the best it's ever been. Yeah. I think by a long shot. I think they had to kind of repair themselves from Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which was not, in my opinion, not that good. I know other people say differently, but on a competitive level, it was not good at all. And then growing from there, the Wii U and 3DS kind of replement that, and then on to the Switch is this is the definitive version. Here's all the characters from the previous franchises. I think they're in their prime right now. I don't know if they can get I'm trying to think of a new Super Smash Brothers. I'm not sure if they can do that until
they have to do something different.
They have to do something completely different. Either
either keep the game as it is, and they do better online or a new mode or something, or they literally do something completely different. I'm thinking Tekken or Injustice or something different, different looked at it's no longer Smash at that point. Exactly. So I think you just bring back Smash Ultimate and you throw a new mode, or I think honestly better Wi-Fi multiplayer would go a long way.
Number one goal.
Yeah, that's the only thing that they could really do if they came out with that, and maybe some built-in tournaments and things like that you could do, to make it more of an esports title. They could do that, and that would make it better. But outside of quality of life improvements and a mode, it's going to be tough to beat. Smash, Smash Ultimate is, the reason it's Ultimate.
Really Ultimate, yeah.
It's Ultimate.
Yeah.
Super Mario Party, I don't know if you guys have played the recent ones, but I think back in the N64 days, it was a lot better. At least for me. I think as a kid, you liked Super Mario Party.
It was more novel early on, and now that we're on Mario Party 15 or whatever, it's we get it.
Yeah.
Whereas the first two were awesome. You remember, but the first two, we didn't have party games there. At least I didn't.
That's true.
Maybe you guys did. I didn't have party games, and the N64 was so built on 4 controller ports and all that. So I think Mario Party kind of hit something that was novel and new, whereas now we've all grown accustomed to it.
Right. I'm just wondering. We only have had one new franchise or IP in this system, and that's ARMS, right?
Major one.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Would they
ever
they have
Ring Fit?
Ring Fit Adventure, sure.
Labo.
Okay.
If we start pulling them apart, I can give you a couple.
Yeah, a lot of experimental ones, right?
But that's how Nintendo typically introduces new IP. They're all experimental until one hits, and then they turn it into something.
I gotcha.
Wii Sports was experimental until it hit. Same thing for Wii Party until it hit, and they keep doing that. I think Nintendo. I think Nintendo is very conservative when it comes to franchise building. Because a lot of times
definitely.
they'll might experiment with something, and then they'll take that experiment and they'll turn it into a Kirby game, or they'll add a piece of it to a Mario game and things like that, because they know that their IP sell. So I think a lot of times they test with these little, lesser known or unknown IPs just to test mechanics that they'll then introduce with other games later.
I haven't played a Kirby game in so long too. I don't know how the recent games. I heard the 3DS ones were pretty good.
Kirby Planet Robobot is
Yeah, the Robobot one. Oh,
I love that game.
Cool.
That
I'll
game's
have to
really
check
good.
that one out. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good to be a Nintendo fan right now.
Oh yeah,
I would say so for sure.
definitely, without a doubt. Next,
How are we on time? We good? We good to keep going?
we're 15 minutes normally. Like, since you guys joined the show, Nintendo Shack is a 90-minute show.
Nice.
So
Nothing
like,
wrong with
if
that.
if that's the number that we're going at, then yeah, we've got time for another one or two.
Yeah.
Unless
I
you
think
guys
we
got to
can
go.
No, I don't have anywhere to be. Kaiju wants to know, Nintendo's got the games, but the underpoweredness of the Switch has stood out more and more over the past 3 years. Now that Microsoft and Nintendo are practically dating, would it be too wild to believe that Nintendo might turn to them for assistance with the next console they make? All the gimmicks of the usual Nintendo stuff, but optimized to run bigger and better games.
Two things. I love the word underpowerness.
That's
First-
a good word.
First word. Second thing, it would be wild and crazy, Kaiju, and it's not
Yes.
going to happen. Nintendo's not going to let
Yeah.
that happen. What Nintendo could do, though, in this vein, if you guys allow me to get back on my soapbox, is they could
Absolutely.
adopt xCloud. And that would do what
Yes.
you're asking them to do, and that would not be wild. Now, Xbox would probably have to make some concessions they probably don't want to do. But would it be worth it to bring on a client like Nintendo? Probably. The thing that I've been saying the whole time about xCloud is they could sell xCloud to Nintendo. They could let Nintendo license xCloud. You rebrand it, put a new wrapper on it, but it's xCloud. I think the issue that Nintendo won't do is they're not going to have like the Xbox logo on a Switch. And they're not going to have you boot into the Microsoft Store and all that. Right? They may
Right.
create a unified account system, like you tie the two accounts together or something. But Nintendo's going to want to be branded their own thing first and foremost. And I
What
think
does Ori do? Because they link achievements, right? Is
Yeah,
that my
they do.
understanding? Okay.
But it doesn't say like achievement unlocked and the Xbox logo doesn't come up. It's styled differently.
Yeah, they wouldn't do all the Xbox kind of.
And when you
like
pop the
that.
achievement on Xbox, like in my Xbox app, it told me achievement was earned, but when I go and look at it, I can't like pull them separately and things. So they're kind of hidden from view. So, and those are Nintendo-esque things that I don't think Nintendo will ever concede. Just knowing their history and how they deal with partners, they're not going to do that because I believe their brand is the most powerful brand in gaming, and they're not going to subject it. And that's why their games that are on sale are $42.
Still.
So they're not going to stop that from happening. So if they can ever come to agreements on that, and like I said, I think it makes a lot of sense for Microsoft to do so. They're going to earn a ton of goodwill. They'll probably take, they'll get paid, and they'll probably take a portion off the top. They're going to take a percentage. Nintendo's going to get their cut, and so is them. And it'll allow Nintendo to be the underpowered hardware that they want without being left behind. And I do think it's interesting with all of the streaming services that we have now with Stadia and xCloud and PlayStation Now and Shadow and all the other things. There is starting to build maybe even competition for Nintendo to shop it around. Like, hey, we don't want to do this. We want to license with somebody. So who's going to give us the best deal? And I think that space exists for them. And then who knows? Maybe they do it themselves. But based on the way Smash runs, I have no faith
I
in that.
don't want them to do
I don't
it
want them to do it
themselves.
either. Exactly. I don't want them to do it either. I've seen xCloud. I believe in xCloud, and I would love for them to do it. And it would be great if they had another little Minecraft partnership where they release logos and play nice with each other. That stuff like warms my heart, makes me happy. And I just think there's a natural. It's a pro for both companies. Nobody loses in this relationship, in my opinion. So I would like to see it. Because here's the other thing. Imagine Xbox games through xCloud delivered to Switch. It didn't have to be third party. Through xCloud, even if it was branded Nintendo, Microsoft could still list Halo, for example.
I don't see, first party Xbox games coming in, but definitely
Dude,
like
they
a
released
small-
Ori on the system, and then Cuphead, and like they already have.
Those are kind of like Nintendo like games. Those are platformers.
I get
right?
it. I'm saying
But-
it just paves the way.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. It paves the way. Now, it'd be xCloud only. You'd only be able to stream it. You're not going to release it. You're not going to be able to buy it. But through xCloud, you could do it. Or, all right. Halo may have been a step too far. Rare Replay.
Sure.
Ooh.
I would be down with that.
How many Nintendo fans would be excited if Rare Replay?
All of
Yep.
them would be.
Even if it was streaming only and you had to be connected to the internet to do it, they would still do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep.
I think also with this question of like the approach of Nintendo is like, yeah, optimize, run bigger and better games. I feel like that, that's totally never their approach. Microsoft and PlayStation are always like, let's be the biggest and best games that we could play in the most efficient way possible, right? But Nintendo, it's like we understand what power level we want to be at. So whatever the next gen console or whatever idea their thing is, like, okay, it has to at least be this power or this amount of GPU, CPU. They'll work with NVIDIA or something like that to work on the GPU side of things. But we understand where that level is. They don't need to go to like Microsoft or Sony in order to figure out how to run bigger and better games. I just don't think that's
It's a philosophy. It's not I can't do it. It's a philosophy.
Exactly.
It's a philosophy that they don't need to, and they don't.
Yeah.
Like Animal Crossing selling gangbusters. They don't. They've proven it over and over again. They don't need to. And I say that like grinding my teeth because I wish they would. I love all the Ks and all that. I want the games. I want Outer Worlds to look awesome on Switch.
I want it to work.
I want everything to be as awesome and pretty and load as fast as possible. But Nintendo, they don't need that to make their games. And as long as they make their games, they don't need anybody else. They literally could release a Switch that only plays first-party Nintendo games. And people would still buy it, me included. Even if you took away all the indies and everything. That's why I've said for a long time on the show, Nintendo is most apt to set up like an app streaming service. The Nintendo app that you can there's Nintendo's library is there and you just buy it. Their library is that valuable. Mm-hmm. It's insanely valuable. Like it's evergreen. It will never be not valuable because they made Mario and Zelda and Metroid and Donkey Kong. Like, that's the issue. I mean, it's not the issue, but that's the feather in their cap. That's the card that they get to play that not everybody can play, or it's not going to be as strong a play, but they can. Mm-hmm. So, and I think with the idea of them ever going to another company and like, let's say like releasing
ask for help or whatever.
Well, ask for help or adopt a different platform or anything. Nintendo cares way too much about like the controls and how you interact with their game to ever relinquish any sort of creative control in that regard.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Agreed.
Yep.
I think we can get through these last two.
Yeah, go for it.
Low Rule Legend wants to know, what's your most wanted port or remaster for the Switch?
Okay, so I've said a bunch of the same ones over and over again. Wind Waker, a lot of the 3D world, those types of things. I want to say it again. Here, what I want to do is I want to answer this question maybe a bit more definitively. When I think of ports that I want to come to Switch, the ones that I've said in the past, I'm actually happy the BioShock Collection came over. Yeah. The ones that I say are typically last-gen games that I have reason to expect can be ported over fairly well with good performance. That's why I go last gen, not this gen. And then I also go to like collections because they bring a lot of value to the person that's buying it. Ports are already kind of undervalued. It's an old game. So anytime you can add a collection in a port, like the BioShock Collection, then I think we're talking like the Mass Effect Collection, like the Arkham Collection. Those are games that I would say port to Switch.
Yeah.
I've thought about this in the past. I've brought it up a couple times. If they ever did a Call of Duty collection of like 2 or 3 old Call of Duty games in a zombies mode, if they're like Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare 1 and 2 for 360 and you can play zombies, like I would buy that on Switch probably. Yep. Things like that. Anything that brings value, fills a niche, and can run well. I'm not going to tell you that I want, the latest and greatest awesome third-party game running on Switch because chances are it's not going to run well.
Yeah, I think just stemming from that, I guess right now what I most want is actually Bravely Default and Bravely Second to port over to Switch and have that as a package right before we get into Bravely Default 2.
That's real good.
I think that needs to happen. I don't know like if they're planning on that or anything like that, but I almost expect it. and I don't know how anyone else feel like that with Bravely Default, but that's my pick.
At this point, I really want my Skyward Sword remastered for the Switch. I think that's probably what's next for me of what I want for a remaster.
That'd be good. That'd be a great Zelda, anniversary knick-knack tank thing to do.
I've talked about it before, but I think the Joy-Con would be a lot. People want to get rid of the motion control. I don't see that happening. I think the Joy-Con would be a much better experience playing it than with the Wii remotes. Speaking
of that, you just reminded me, you jogged my memory. Do you know, Garrett and I were talking this past weekend, and I learned how to boot up Breath of the Wild on my PC.
Yep.
And I play with all the plugins and everything, and it was pretty awesome for a moment. Except every time the game caches a shader, like it pauses or freezes or stutters.
Yep.
Which in an open world game, kind of all the time.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
Like if you play it long enough, like after 20 minutes or so, it lessens to the point where it becomes what I would call playable, but it's still a consistent thing. So as pretty as it was, I literally was like, I'm never going to play the game like this. I'm not actually going to play the game like this. And I turn it off. And I'm going to uninstall all of it. But it was a fun little experiment while it lasted, Garrett. I could have been playing Xenoblade instead, but no, I sat there and wasted my afternoon trying to figure it out.
Like, what do I need to do? I think, that emulator, though, it gets you everything. So.
It does. And hopefully everything loads better than Breath of the Wild does. The only reason I got into it was I got into the emulation of that WCW Feel the Bang game, which I got on track for that because of you, Rebecca.
Wait, what did you
led me down that road.
What did I do?
You had a tweet.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You had a tweet about like your favorite N64 game or something.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And everybody was thinking of Pokemon Snap and Ocarina of Time and GoldenEye. And I was like, let's not beat around the bush here, okay? The N64 wrestling games, to this day, 25 years later, are still considered the gold standard of wrestling games. And a wish that I've always wanted is somebody to make that game just the way it was with a little better like visuals, not new visuals. I still want it to look like old N64 game, but new visuals, new rosters and everything. So I Googled it. There's an article in Polygon where somebody did that.
Oh.
There's an emulator and everything, and they've done it, and it's free. It's called WCW Feel the Bang. It has a campaign and challenges, and I sat there and installed it and figured out how to play it and had a awesome time for 2.5 hours.
That's awesome.
Kind of going back in nostalgia and playing something. It doesn't run super great. It's a little janky. It's a fan-made thing. I understand it's free. But it is pretty cool. Very cool. They have like all, it's very funny. They have audio, like shouts in the ring from the actual wrestlers they cut out of like, actual matches. So that's always weird. You do a move and you actually hear their voice come across.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Last question. Kyle wants to know which PlayStation franchise, apart from Spyro and Crash Bandicoot, would most likely have a port for the Switch?
I've answered this one before, so I'm gonna let you guys go, and then I'll say it again.
I mean, my answer is not likely at all, like in the slightest. But I think that, I was just thinking about this earlier today because of PlayStation. But Sly Cooper would feel so much at home on the Switch. It feels like it belongs there. The Sly collection would be a dream.
Okay, that's a good one.
Never gonna happen, but like that would be the dream.
Give me Ratchet and Clank.
I was gonna say that one. That's a good one. Yeah, Ratchet and Clank would be. My answer was and continues to be Journey, in particular the Journey collection. Oh, yeah. They released the Journey collection on PS3, and I think it was Journey, Flower, and another one that I don't remember.
The other one.
Maybe it was like Unfinished Swan or something like that. But Journey is a great, fantastic game. And I think it would fit right at home on Nintendo Switch. And if they were going to release a game, that would be the one I would want, except one caveat, if we could get Resogun. Resogun is a game that deserves to be on every platform because Resogun is freaking great. It's a great, fun video game. So, but Resogun, even though it was exclusive and I guess Housemarque, I still don't like Resogun doesn't feel like PlayStation brand. You get what I'm trying to say?
It's not. Yeah.
Whereas Journey,
it's their own flavor, right?
Journey Housemarque is like tentpole, like Ratchet, like Sly. Journey is PlayStation. Okay. So yeah, if I was going to pick one, it'd be Journey.
Awesome.
Okay, well, that's going to wrap it up the show for us this week. Thank you so much, Koopalings, for hanging out with us another week down. Play some more Clubhouse games. Some of these games that are on sale, I'm going to get some Telltale games tonight, and we talk about those next week. And then I'm probably going to take a week off because the week after next, The Last of Us comes out, and I'm not playing anything else. I've been thinking about this all day. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, Jack. If anything,
Oh my God.
if anything, it'll be time that I could be spent playing The Last of Us. Guys, it's starting to reach a fever pitch. I was talking to Kevin about it last night. He's reviewing it. It's there. Like Hive level, it continues as we get closer and closer, just slowly rising, and it's getting to the point now where it's
Everybody has a game like that, and this is yours.
I'm waiting this game. I talked to my son. I went and picked up my son from a pool party yesterday. My son and daughter, they went to a pool party with a couple friends from church, and my son on the way back was like, I can't believe you're buying that console. The PlayStation 5's coming out soon. And I was like, I've been waiting for this game and that console your entire life. I'm like, do you understand?
Oh my God, it's true, isn't it?
I'm like, from the moment you existed, I've been waiting for this game. So I don't want to hear no back talk about this game, okay? Here's what I want you to do. If I could send them away, I would. If I could just like put them in a hotel room or something, like everybody go away and leave me alone to do this.
Put them on the show. They'll be the hosts with us.
Oh no.
That would be
We can talk about Animal Crossing. We can talk about...
There you go. Yeah. They're still doing all the Animal Crossing. My daughter got a teacup ride or something. She's starting to build like a carnival. They're still doing it. They're still going. So anyway, that'll do it for us this week, Koopalings. We'll catch you next week.
Bye-bye.